By now, most of you will have already heard about the bomb plot to blow up a civilian aircraft. It was hatched in Yemen, but it was foiled when the explosive device was seized by CIA agents. Tonight, my brief, what you have not heard, the story behind the story. It is a horrifying tale of American intelligence lapses more than a decade ago that have cost many lives, from the bombing of the USS Cole to the 9/11 attacks and all the way up to now with this latest bomb plot that, as we said, was foiled. The man who tells that story is my guest tonight. He knows more about Al-Qaeda in Yemen than just about anyone alive. My exclusive interview with Ali Soufan, the former FBI counterterrorism agent, in just a moment. But first, some background, details that you'll really need to know to grasp the importance of what Soufan has to say. US officials investigating this plot uncovered crucial information which led to a drone strike just this weekend that killed this man. His name is Fahd al-Qusso. He's a Yemeni, and we now know that he is a top leader of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, the most dangerous terrorist threat to the United States and the rest of the world right now. He had a $5 million price tag on his head, put there by the US government because his crimes go all the way back to the bombing of the USS Cole. And most importantly, he was the key link between Al-Qaeda and the 9/11 attacks. And here's the most disturbing part of the story. My guest tonight wanted Al-Qusso brought back to face justice here in the United States. But a decision was made to leave him in Yemen. Ali Soufan, welcome.
Thank you.
Who is Al-Qusso, and tell us about how you interrogated him all that time ago.
Well, we first identified Fahd al-Qusso as being a member of the cell that conducted the USS Cole attack team. We were able to arrest him and interrogate him, and he provided a significant amount of intelligence about his connections to Al-Qaeda, about Al-Qaeda's role in the USS Cole bombing and the murder of 17 sailors in Aden, and also about his relationship to Osama bin Laden. He also provided us some information about a meeting that took place in Southeast Asia where he delivered $36,000. We now know that that meeting was actually a planning summit for the 9/11 attack. So he is as dangerous as you can get.
Now he's dead. Do you believe that the attack that killed him, the drone attack, was actually linked to this bomb plot?
I will be surprised if it is not, because Fahd, since he left the Yemeni jail, he has been planning very hard to conduct attacks, not only inside Yemen, but also outside Yemen. And his name has been linked to many attacks. You know, he was 25 years old when I interviewed him as part of the USS Cole. And later, it's that individual with this, you know, silly smirk on his face every time he's talking to you. He is being called by Al-Qaeda as Sheikh, so he became a big
top
figure.
Leader. And how did that happen? Because you had him in your grasp. As we say, there were mistakes made.
Well, we had all of these guys. I mean, the picture that now you're showing are basically pictures of him at the court in Sana'a when we prosecuted him in Yemen, in Sana'a, Yemen, him and Jamal Badawi. His friend and colleague in the Cole attack. There was a deal between the US government and the Yemeni government that because they were Yemeni citizens, we will prosecute them in Yemen. And we had to go to Yemen and prosecute them over there with the help of the Yemeni government. They were convicted, and then they were able to escape from jail. Few times they escaped actually from jail. And until now, you know, they continue to create. Exactly.
So tell us, how dangerous is Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, based in Yemen?
As you know, there's many Qaedas. There's Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, Al-Qaeda in Iraq. I think the most dangerous one is Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. And the reason Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula is the closest to bin Laden's version of Al-Qaeda. Many Qaedas around the world joined the franchise of Al-Qaeda. They never went to Afghanistan, met bin Laden. Those individuals basically are the real deal. Nasser Lawhayshi, the head of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, he used to be the chief of staff of Osama bin Laden. We know him as Abu Basir al-Yemeni. We also prosecuted him in Yemen, and he was able to escape. Qasim al-Rimi was also the military commander now of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, was also in Afghanistan. The number 2 guy, al-Shahri, he escaped from Saudi Arabia, went to Yemen, and became the number 2 in Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. So this is the closest to Al-Qaeda you have.
And just to get it straight, you wanted to bring him back to the United States.
Well,
Kuso,
absolutely.
When you had him in your grasp. What was the decision process? Why did they decide to leave him there?
It was way higher than our pay grade at the time. It's something that happened between the US government and the Yemeni governments. And the Yemenis insisted that because of Kuso and Badawi are both Yemeni citizens, their constitution prohibit them being rendered to the United States for prosecution. So the United States government at the time agreed that we will go to Yemen and help the Yemenis prosecute them in Yemen.
When you were interrogating him, did you have a sense that he would become this now top leader in the Yemeni franchise of Al-Qaeda? What was he telling you back then?
Honestly, when I was interrogating him, the only thing I can say to myself that this guy will never see the day of light again. I mean, you know, he was admitting his involvement in the murder of 17 sailors.
And you fully expected him to be locked up?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we did that before with the East Africa embassy bombing, for example, with Al-Wali, with Muhammad Uday, all these individuals who were involved, and we were able to catch them. They were prosecuted, and they will never see the light of day again. So that's what I was thinking. And he was very cooperative. I mean, he provided significant amount of intelligence and information.